Today, we are going to be featuring the one and only Clement Sir Coxsone Dodd, Order of Distinction, and the man whose name is inextricably tied to the development of Jamaican music. Today also we're going to be joined by the one and only Dr. Dennis O. Howard, Jamaica's foremost ethno-musicologist, and he will be here with us as we take you on this wonderful ride. Got your comments?
Yeah, I just want to wish everyone, happy Merry Christmas. I know, previous still. Just welcome to Sunday Scoops today, Sunday. And we have a wonderful lineup for you. We'll be playing a lot of different artists. For those of you who don't know, Clement Seymour Dodd was born in Kingston on January 26, 1932. He is primarily, or started out primarily as a sound system operator. Man had up to 5 sounds at one time running. And one for every day of the week. And one of the biggest producers to ever come out of Jamaica. And every single, that's one of the reasons why his music is called Foundation.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, once they hear Rocksteady, they say studio. And he has also created a domestic name, Studio One. The biggest gun for Rocksteady was Duke Reed, but nowadays, whenever everybody play Rocksteady, instead of I play Studio One. But the Studio One sound is much different, and he is, again, big bad. Sir Coxsone Dodd.
Well, listen, we have Dr. Dennis Howard on the line, but before we bring in the erstwhile Dr. Dr. Howard,
some music.
We want to just give you a little taste of some of that early foundation music coming from Studio One.
A little taste. When you go and get them a whole entree, a good meal. So here is one of the biggest tunes called Schooling the Duke. Well, as Richie promised you a taste, and that was a taste of Schooling the Duke.
Just a little sip.
The horns you hear in the background was that of none other than the big bad Don Drummond and the Scatterlights. At the time, this particular recording is his Greenlanders on the album Don Cosmic.
You see, when we touch the big guns, we have to bring out the biggest guns as well. Even God went on his studies to brush up on his background.
Yes, and make sure we do the right thing.
But on the line, joining us from the great place called Kingston, Jamaica, the sound, the birthplace of this fabulous music is none other than Dr. Dennis Howard. Doc, how are you this morning? Or this afternoon?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm great. We
couldn't do a show like this. Well, you would never forgive us.
I'm happy to be here as usual.
There you go. Thank you.
Did he bring his dad with him this time?
God is asking if your dad is with him, but I'm trying to tell him we want to save your dad, man, for the big show on the sound system, right? So you have to think. But Doc, Studio One and Clement Dodd, we would never dare to do a show like this without your input as a man who in the thing. Your thoughts on Clement Dodd?
Well, I was fortunate to know the man and had many conversations with him because my father and Clement, Mr. Dodd, were good friends. And at some point, the music business in terms of distribution and retail, I should say. And so I had the privilege of being in the studio at different points I'd say probably in the 80s, starting in the 80s. And even after he came back, after that sojourn in New York, and so I had a number of conversations with him. And, I've heard, I've witnessed and heard songs that are still not released.
Backwards and forward anecdotes. So we want to pick up, just how Coxsone came into the business. But before we do that, we're going to do take another quick taste of another piece of early Studio One Eastern Standard Time. Again, from the catalog of the great Scatterlights, who we will discuss as we get further down in the program, the role that the Scatterlights played as far as being a studio band for the erstwhile Clement Dodd and the Studio One group. Let's give a listen to Eastern Standard Time.
And that was Eastern Standard Time again, Don Drummond and the Scatterlights.
The big trombone that you hear in the back in that music arrangement is the great
Don Drummond.
Don Drummond.
And a quick note on Don Drummond. He's known by peer review, not us, not our opinion, not the opinion of anybody else, but his peers, as one of the greatest trombonists to ever walk this planet.
Absolutely. In fact, we will address that. Yes, coming Doc.
One of the Marcellus brothers, I think I can't remember his
Vinton Marcellus.
He's the one who plays trombone.
Right.
Well, he's one of the biggest fans for Don Drummond, and thinks that Don Drummond is one of the greatest trombonists ever. I think it's Delfeo Marcellus.
Yeah.
That's the name of you know.
Well,
and
Doc Coxsone came into the business, a young boy, Kingston-born youth, used to play music down at his mother's restaurant.
And liquor store.
Liquor store.
And she had a liquor restaurant and liquor store, and he liked the music from the early days. A young teenager, and would from time to time go down there, particularly on a weekend, and play his blues and jazz, which would have been what we were listening to at the time.
Yeah.
And
well, before he even started to play, remember how the sound system thing came out. His mother, who was the business person who had the restaurant and liquor store. What they used to do is to use one of those shortwave radios and hook it up to a speaker.
Right.
And that was almost like a PA system. And then as the sound system kind of movement emerged, that was when he started to play music at the premises. So it.
What's up, people? Welcome again to the channel. And if this is your first time, I'm going to invite you to like the content by just hitting the like button and the notification bell, so that when we present new material, you will be the first to be advised. If you have not yet done so, we invite you as well to subscribe to the channel so that we can entrench our position as a delivery of good information. Big respect.